Meteorologist Mark Molnar with the special edition of Weather Northeastern's winter weather coverage. Let's take a look at viewer sent-in photos. Micah Bush from the upstate New York area near the Corning, New York area. Take a look at some of these photos. Heavy snow with some 2 clippers that occurred over the past couple days here from Tuesday up to Thursday morning, mostly during the night, and this accumulated to a very quick 7 inches of very light, fluffy snow accumulation. Snowfall ratios on the order of 15 to 1 and 20 to 1. And take a look at how this snow piled up across the upstate Corning, New York area. So very nice photos. Micah Bush looking very wintry across in this area, and the snow has not been melting, so it has been piling up in Micah Bush's area here, because no days did we occur to be 32 or above. So the snow, once you see the snow fall, it's here to stay. Let's take a look at down south. Lucas D. from Linden, Texas. A beautiful crimson sunset across the Linden, Texas area. If you're sick and tired of all the snow and cold up here in the Northeast, take a look at this. Very nice conditions down south. Crimson color of the sunset. Wildlife is on the move here in Linden. Zooming in on a nice specimen of a bird here in the Linden, Texas area. We can only dream of that here in upstate New York and northeast Pennsylvania and portions of New England. And then we head towards a nice breezy, windy day. This looks like a nice day to get out and breathe some nice fresh air. So thank you, Lucas, for sending these videos in. Take a look at these precipitation totals out west before we take a look at that winter storm back east. Upwards of 7 to as much as 12 inches of heavy rain from the coastal sections, spreading to about 80 to 90 miles inland. This is going to be quite the storm, quite the drought buster, as this thing continues to move into the southwestern part of the United States towards the middle part of next week. So keep an eye on this. It will provide beneficial rains, but some areas will see a lot of flooding because this is too much too fast, even though there's a drought going on. And then back east here, you see this precipitation pattern here across the lower lakes into upstate New York, northern Pennsylvania, into New England. This is with that developing winter storm along a stationary front. Let's take a look at the factors affecting this development of this winter storm. It's a stationary front, but it's also an Alberta Clipper type system as it moves from the direction of the Alberta Clippers, but it will move along this stationary front, and along and north of it is where we'll see mostly frozen precipitation, especially from the New York-Pennsylvania border on northward here, where we stand a good chance to see 6, 7, 8 inches, maybe upwards of a foot. The further north you get towards the New York State Thruway, heading off towards central and eastern New England here. And then further south of that boundary is where we set up the mix eventually to rain, especially from portions of southern Pennsylvania and stretching up into central Pennsylvania as well. So those are the factors affecting the system. It might try to go nor'easter here on us, coastal, but at this point it will mainly be an overrunning type scenario. Let's take a look at those snowfall totals I'm expecting. As I said, mainly north of the New York-Pennsylvania border is where we'll see that good 6 to 8 inches, maybe more towards the Cortland area. Once you get up towards the New York State Thruway, that's where a foot or more is likely from Buffalo, Syracuse to Albany, heading over towards portions of Massachusetts, Worcester, maybe as far just north of Hartford here, up towards Concord, definitely upwards of a foot or more, and looking over towards the southern Adirondacks, up into portions of southern Ontario here, we're looking easily at up to a foot or even more. So you look towards the south here, and snowfall totals really drop off once you get south and west to the Poconos and Catskills here. And you really start to see more mixing going on in the upper levels as that warm air intrusion comes in from the south, and many areas, even across southern Pennsylvania, will switch over to plain rain. Speaking of the ice accumulations, this is what I'm expecting, maybe up to 1/10 to as much of a 1/4 inch across portions of Pennsylvania and New Jersey here, as we get a lot of overrunning going on. And even some of that ice will overlap on some of this snowfall, maybe stretching almost all the way up to the New York-Pennsylvania border here. As we get some warm air in the upper layers, it will change snow to ice and then back to snow in parts of north of Scranton here and north of Bradford, Pennsylvania. So looking very interesting, even across northern New Jersey. Southern New England, also icing potential as well. Let's take a look at the surface maps we're looking at here across the Northeast for starting off with your weekend here. Saturday, we're looking not too bad across the area. across northern New England, but we start to see this frontal boundary. As I said, this is where the low pressure system will ride along it. One getting going here just west of Ohio on Saturday. That will start to bring in some snow and snow showers and light snow breaking out across the Twin Tiers of New York, Pennsylvania over towards Cleveland, Buffalo, the Thruway, and then maybe up towards portions of southern Ontario. Temperatures, you can see the battleground going on here. You get lots of single digits in teens and lower 20s here further north of the boundary. South of the boundary, you're easily getting above freezing, mixing going on across central and southern Pennsylvania. Heading on into Sunday, moisture starts to move into New England here. We start to get snow, the heavier snow breaking out across parts of the northern tier of Pennsylvania, but mainly north of the New York-Pennsylvania border. That's where we'll get into the 8 to 12 inch or higher amounts here during the day, especially afternoon on Sunday, as this system really starts to pull from the Ohio Valley here, heading on into your Monday. The system pulls just to the south and east of Harrisburg here along the boundary. That will push some warm air here into portions of New Jersey, southeastern Pennsylvania, where it could be just plain rain over to parts of eastern Long Island, maybe as far east as Cape Cod. Mixing going on as well in parts of New Jersey, just south of the Poconos. But it's here from New York, Pennsylvania, the Poconos, Catskills on northward towards the Thruway, southern Adirondacks, the Berkshires and White Mountains here. This is where we stand a chance to get some decent snow accumulation, and we'll continue to watch it here at MeteoMark. There might be some wraparound as this low pressure moves off on later Monday afternoon off the coast, so it'll be interesting to see how much of this wraparounds, but I suspect the most significant snowfall totals out of this system will come from the overrunning scenario that goes on north of the stationary front. Now, heading on into Tuesday, this system moves to the north and east. It tries to go coastal on us, but I think by that time it will be a bit too far east of New England to cause any major problems. As you see, left in its wake, we get colder air filtering back in, changing leftover moisture back to some light snow and snow showers. That's going to do it for this edition of Weather Northeastern. Don't forget, I'm going to have a 5-day outlook for my hometown viewers from Binghamton to Elmira. Don't forget to like me on Facebook at MeteoMark, subscribe to me on YouTube at MeteoMark.com, Google Plus at MeteoMark, and Twitter at WX Northeastern. Here's that 5-day outlook from Binghamton to Elmira. The reason I didn't say Scranton is because Scranton's going to be a bit different this time with the mixed precipitation, mainly north of the New York-Pennsylvania border. Saturday, we start out maybe an inch or less of snow accumulation, maybe during the afternoon to early evening hours. Heading on into Saturday night and Sunday, snow starts to develop. This is where the heaviest snow, Sunday afternoon, Sunday evening, Sunday night. We're looking on the order of at least 2 to maybe 4 inches of accumulation, and then Sunday night, that's when things really get cranking. We could see upwards of an additional 4 inches, 5-inch, 6-inch range. So we're getting a lot of our snowfall totals during the night of Sunday night here. Heading on into Monday morning, we'll get at least an additional 2 to 4 inches during your day on Monday. So looking very interesting. I will continue to fine-tune these totals as we draw closer to this winter storm, and then by Tuesday into Wednesday we're starting to clear out, but we're left with a lot of cold weather for this time of year heading on deep into February. That's going to do it for this edition of Weather Northeastern.